Good morning, everyone. I'm Kathy Hazel Adams, and thank you for joining me today. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you are new, I'll just share what I've said in a couple of other videos, that the messages and the energies I bring and share in these videos comes directly from my higher guides, my spirit guides, which very much include Arcturians and Andromedans and Ascended Masters and of course my own higher guides and angels. It's the information that I feel compelled to share with you all. I don't use tarot cards or pendulums or any of the sort of symbol system tools that many people use, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't need the help accessing what's important to know about and share today. I just get it directly from my guides. I didn't think I'd be recording today because I did, as you know, probably I recorded a 17-minute video and posted it yesterday, all about the divine mother and father energy and how embodying that, how we become our own unconditional love and support and guidance from within. And I didn't think I'd be recording one today because, you know, I don't feel like I have to record something every day. But with this morning's meditation, I can't get away from two energies that want to be shared and talked about with you today. Neutrality, as in divine neutrality, and boundary. Before I go on, I will ask you to, if you find the video helpful, please click like, subscribe, leave comments and questions. I read and answer every one. Share it with your friends. It helps the video be more visible to others. So let's talk about neutrality, the energies, the energetic states or morphic fields of neutrality and boundary. Sometimes when we say neutrality, people can get a little sort of put off by the word because they think it might mean apathy or not caring or lack of compassion. And that's not it at all. Neutrality, as in divine neutrality, is the ability to see what's going on and have compassion for it and even help wherever you can, in whatever way you can, without being drawn into the experience, without making that experience your reality. So you're not being sucked into it. The example I've often used in my client sessions is the example of, say you're walking down the street with a 4 or 5-year-old, maybe your child or grandchild, and you stop at an ice cream stand to get ice cream cones. And you're walking away from the stand and the child goes to lick his ice cream cone and the ice cream goes down on the pavement. The 4-year-old is probably going to be upset. He may cry and scream because he thinks the world is over because he lost his ice cream cone. Not realizing, of course, that it's easy to replace an ice cream cone and life isn't over. But to that child, in his world, everything just crashed and it's awful and he's experiencing terrible pain over it. You as the adult, of course you have compassion that he's feeling that way. Of course you care that he's terribly unhappy and you will take steps as you can to remedy the situation, right? But you don't jump into the situation with him and think your life is over and everything is just terrible. Do you see what I mean? You can see that someone is experiencing something and have compassion and care, but not be sucked into it as your reality. That is neutrality, divine neutrality. And Pam Gregory, the astrologer, she calls it being on the eagle's perch. Yeah, it's this arm's length. Yes, I see these things going on. I'm not in denial that these things are going on. But I don't have to dive into them and accept them as my personal reality and experience. So as you look around the world, as far as what's going on, you know, people suffering in terrible earthquakes or financial difficulties or other catastrophes, or what's going on politically that can look pretty uncertain and scary. Neutrality is, yes, I see these things going on, but it doesn't have to be my reality that personally affects my well-being. I am still the creator of my own reality. I am the creator of my reality in every moment. So in every moment, I have empowerment to be aware of what I'm vibrating with, and catch myself if I start vibrating with buying into the stories and the terrible things and calamities that might have to happen to me. So divine neutrality is certainly love and compassion and seeing what's going on, but without being sucked into what's going on as somehow having to be the reality that you live and experience. And divine neutrality is, you can call it a healing frequency or a morphic field or a super energy, doesn't matter. It's an energetic state that you can agree to allow to infuse and become part of your energetic field. And so if you want to incorporate more divine neutrality, to get some arm's length away from things that might have felt sort of scary and threatening to you right here, sort of get above it and not so affected by it, you can certainly choose to infuse and accept the energy of divine neutrality. I've got the energy open for you. I cannot make you take it. I am not doing anything to you, but I am sort of operating as a portal and a catalyst if you would like to embody neutrality. And it is an agreement and an allowing on your part to let that energy infuse and uplift and update in whatever way is most beneficial and organic to you. The other energy that wants to be opened up and discussed today is boundary. Boundary is not walling off or keeping out. It is saying, this is my sovereign, sacred, energetic space. This is my divinely given real estate, and only I choose and say what is appropriate to allow in, what I will accept, and what is available and that I don't accept into my energetic field. The example I've used in client sessions of boundary is, think of yourself as being in the middle of a circle and there being sort of maybe a white picket fence, maybe about knee high, all around your circular yard around you, and you're in the middle. That is your sacred space. You are sovereign there. The only thing that can be there is what you allow to be there. No one else gets to come in and just plant tomato plants and marigolds in your yard. It's your sacred space. It is so sacred that they don't even get to look over the fence and say, yeah, your yard ought to have irises and violets. Not your business. It's my sacred space. It's completely sovereign. It is your choice what to allow in and what doesn't belong there, because it's not your truth. It doesn't support your true, authentic joy and being. Now, boundary goes both ways. Even though we are all, each of us, expressions of the one singular consciousness, the source consciousness, God consciousness, we are each of us individualized. Our energetic fields and our perspective is inviolate, unviolatable. It is absolute and it is private. And so none of us gets to impinge or infringe on the sacred space of anyone else. And that means we don't get to go into someone else's yard and put in tomato plants and marigolds because we think it should be there. We don't get to look over their fence and tell them what should be there. Again, that is their sacred space, even though they are another expression of us and they, at another level, they are us. Their perspective and their experience is their own, and it is sacred and sovereign, and we don't belong in the middle of it. So my Arcturian guides are wanting me to point out that that means it is not our job to tell someone else how they should be living their life, what they should be doing. It's not our job to convince them to agree with how we see things, with our political views or our world views about how things are. So many times people try to impinge and infringe on others with their own viewpoints, and tell others, well, you're crazy, you're naive to think that that's true. You know, you should see things my way. That's crossing boundaries. So bringing it back to ourselves, personally in the world, the way things are, and handling all the information that's coming our way. We have the duty and the right and the ability to simply say, this is my sacred space. You are welcome to your opinions and your ideas and information as you see it. I am not obligated to agree with it or take that in. Not rebellious or adversarial. It's just a firm, loving boundary of what you will or won't accept into your energetic field or into your life experience. If someone is very disrespectful and unpleasant to you, you absolutely have the ability and the right to set a boundary and say, I'd love to be friends with you, or I'd love to have you in my life. However, this is not working, what's going on here, so you need to change that, or I won't be in your life, or you won't be in my life. It's really okay to say that in your own words. If you have people that are friends or family trying to inflict and impose their views, political or otherwise, on your life and what you should think and how you should be doing things, it's really not only okay, but your duty to yourself as far as honoring your truth, like your truth matters. It's okay to say to someone, yeah, I don't see things that way, and I'd rather not continue talking about it because we're not going to agree. And boundary comes into it with all of the information piling in on us about what's going on in the world and politics and everything else. I mentioned this in the video that I just posted yesterday about the Divine Mother and Father energies and embodying that support and that guidance for yourself, to yourself, so that you're in that wonderful, unconditionally loving cloak of guidance and support. I mentioned cherry picking. You should cherry pick. Cherry pick what makes you feel good to listen to hear, what makes you feel hopeful, what makes you have positive expectation, what makes you feel empowered to create your own reality. And if something doesn't feel empowering and positive to you, you're not obligated to take that in as truth. That's someone else's truth. You don't have to take it in. And again, I'm not talking about denial of facts on the ground, which nowadays even that's hard to determine. But for instance, if certain executive orders were signed that could spell disaster for somebody, okay, we're not going to deny that the executive order was signed, but we don't have to accept and take in all the horrible things that will lead to or could lead to, the stories that people put to things and all of the ideas and expectations and attitudes they glom on to things. You don't have to accept those. Boundary. There's our neutrality again. Yeah, I see that that's going on. That doesn't mean I have to get all excited and think life is over and that my personal experience is going to be ruined because of that decision that was made by that government or that country, so to speak. So at this point, let's just go ahead and open up again as an offering the energy of boundary, healthy boundary. If you want to accept it, you can accept the update of healthy boundary and let it infuse and let it come in and bring you into a new higher state of understanding and feeling, probably a feeling of peace and well-being. You may feel it very quickly here because I'm actually seeing the word installing and I saw the word update just a moment ago. So the energy is there for you to take in. Again, it is offering. It is you allowing that energy in to inform you and bring you into a more beneficial, peaceful state of well-being. I'm seeing no one's doing anything to you or forcing anything on you ever. And I am reminded to remind you to stay in the present moment. You and I exist in the present moment, and we're constantly creating our reality, both past and future, in the present as we hold it. So spinning wheels in the past about past hurts and transgressions just keeps you in old patterns, and rolling out into the future all the horrible ways things could go for you, that's just laying out the yellow brick road for you to have things go horribly. Stay in the present with love and respect and value for yourself, intending your own best interest, even if you're not 100% sure what that always means. Intend that and just be present and know that you are beloved and you are okay. So I'm still really seeing the words, which are energies, boundary and neutrality. So it must really be energies that we're all needing a big fat dosage of today, and I'm seeing frequency. They're frequencies. Yes, they are frequencies. So again, allow them, if you want to infuse and embody those. Allow yourself to update, to hold those in your energetic field. It's feeling like many of us need sort of a cushiony layer of insulation, not because we're being attacked, but because we don't realize how much we have the right and duty to set clear boundaries based on what is supportive and beneficial to us individually. The way I have put it to some clients in sessions is, it's like you're letting people come through the middle of you with a melon baller, turning you into Swiss cheese. Oh, let me just come in there and take a chunk of you, or let me just come in there and plant something that you didn't want there. No. There you go. I just felt everyone that's watching this just sort of change to where I am now seeing a much more defined, clear, solid boundary around our energetic fields. So I hope something I said or the energies we brought in today were helpful to you. I am available for private sessions, one-on-one sessions. You can go to my website to check those out, www.kathyhazeladams.com. And if you'd like to support this channel, please go to my Patreon page and become a member, Kathy Hazel Adams, Quantum Spirit. I'll leave a link below. I thank you. Have a magical day.